Hey everybody, it's Ryan from MyAfterSchoolToys.com with another toy review, and we are reviewing part 3 of Starcom today. We're going to look at some of the Shadow Force figures and smaller vehicles. So we're going to start off with the Shadow Parasite today, which is one of the small vehicles for the Shadow Force line here. We'll pull them out of the box. And a quick look at the box back here. It just has some of the schematics on it. And then it does have an ID card for Lieutenant Mag that came with it. There we go. So we'll set that aside. And look at the Parasite. Parasite was a really cool little vehicle, and you're going to see why in just a second. But there are a couple of buttons that activated features on the Parasite, and one of the buttons is right here. I might have to help it a little bit because it is very old, and might need a bit of help popping out. So what you do is you push the button on the side here, and you can see that it activates and the engine comes out, and it doesn't come out quite all the way, but if you give it a little help, you pull it like that, you see the two laser cannons come out, and you can extend those lasers. So you have it in attack mode. It's a very cool little vehicle. And then of course there is a metallic spot on the top where you can set another figure like that. And if you push the button on this side, a little canopy opens. There's Lieutenant Mag inside. So push that down like that. Push the guns back in and fold up the Parasite and save it for later because it's going to come back into use. So we'll stick him over here. Now we're going to look at the Shadow Vampire. And this was a medium-sized ship. And it was a very cool little ship because it held two figures at one time. You can see the top right there. And it's got its gun. One of the things it had underneath was a trigger, and if you push the trigger, the little hella engines here would straighten up, and it could kind of go into jet attack mode like that. So very cool little feature on it. Two lasers on the top, and then as I mentioned there were two canopies, so if you push this button down, oops, the opposite one opens. There you go. And there's a figure inside, just like that. And then if you push this button, this canopy opens to fit another figure inside. So very cool. These little guns went back and forth. You could also move them. So that was the Shadow Vampire. It's kind of a cool, just standalone vehicle. And the handle acted as kind of a third leg to balance it when you were standing it down like this. Very good. So that is the Shadow Vampire. And that, last but not least, we got the big mama here, the Shadow Bat. I'm going to have to back the camera up a little bit here so that we can get it all in. So you can see the Shadow Bat is one of the larger vehicles here. It does have two spots up front. There's a little cockpit here for a figure. Just like that. And then another cockpit over here for this figure. It was kind of cool because this one opened up front first. So he could sit in there and drive. You have the guns on the sides right here. And then push the button and the gun will pop out from the side. This one I think needs some help. See if I can set it up here. There we go. Not too much help. And I think that is as far as they extend. So that's kind of cool. Just like that. Now on the top there were several little features here. If you push the danger sign, that would flip out into a cannon, which was awesome. So your second pilot here could activate that and use that in battle. And then there were little platforms here for your figures to stand on that were metal, because of course they had metallic feet, or it had magnetic feet, excuse me. So there you go with that. And a couple little spots right here and right here. And we'll look down at the engine. The engine is very similar to the Shadow Parasite that we looked at. So here's one of the cool things. You can see that there's two cut out triangles right here, and if you had two parasites, you could actually fit them perfectly inside, which made it awesome because now you have 4 men manning this gigantic vehicle. And that is very cool. And then if you look down here at the bottom, we'll see how well I can get it in. It had a little spring-loaded mechanism here that when you closed it, it winded it up, and if you push the button on the back, like this, it opens up. And you got even more people waiting down below to attack the U.S. Starcom forces. So that's very cool. And then when you push it down, it winds it back up, and you push the button, it opens it back up again. So this is part 3 and the last part of Starcom. I love these toys. I'm gonna get more. I have more. I'd love to post more as they come in, but that's just kind of an overview right now of the toys themselves, and you can kind of see them in action. There you go. So be sure to check out myafterschooltoys.com for so many more 80s toys, and until next time, we'll see you later.